Hi, this is Jennifer Kraft with Marriage Maintenance, and I'm back with another question for our question and answer series that we're doing this year. And the question that I have is, help, we are stuck in a rut and how do we get out? Well, let me tell you, you are not alone. Every single married couple will experience some kind of rut or a high and a low, an ebb and a flow where you're sitting on the couch, you're sitting close together, but you're on your phones or the TV is on and you feel way distant from each other. And how do we get out of that? How do we get out of that rut? Well, the key is to be intentional. So in some very intentional ways to get out of that rut are, number one, you guys need to be intentional about having fun together. Date one another, try a new experience, try a new hobby, focus on the friendship. You got to have fun together. Another thing to be intentional about getting out of the rut is displaying to each other intentional affection, non-sexual touching. How do you greet each other in the morning? How do you greet each other at night? Do you hold hands? Do you caress? Do you have a long embrace? What that communicates is, I see you, you're important to me, I value you, I desire you. So non-sexual affection and non-sexual touching. Be very intentional about it. Another practical way to be intentional about getting out of that rut is to take a marriage enrichment class together or participate in a marriage enrichment event. There's all sorts of them out there online and in person. And if you need some ideas, feel free to message us and we'll get you pointed in the right direction. Another way to be intentional about getting out of that rut is to serve together. Go on a missions trip, serving your local church, serving your local community. Do something where the two of you are getting your eyes off of yourselves and onto somebody else, pouring into somebody else. It's very emotionally connecting as a couple. Another suggestion that we have, and this is something that we do, is we have what we call marriage maintenance time. And that is where we are intentionally sitting down, knee to knee, face to face, could be 1 or 2 times a week, half hour to an hour, where we have no cell phones, no interruptions, no distractions, no TV, and we are just talking and connecting, checking in with one another. Hey, how are you doing? How are we doing? Is there anything that we need to talk about? Is there anything that we need to do to strengthen our relationship? How can I serve you? Very intentional time in growing together emotionally as a couple. And a final suggestion that we have in getting out of that rut is to schedule time to make love. Yes, that's what I said. Make an appointment. And the reason is because we get stuck in the rat race of life, the busyness of schedules, kids, activities, appointments, jobs, and sometimes we just have nothing left for each other. And so it's important to schedule time to make love. We schedule appointments for things that are important to us, and making love is a gift from God that He gave us as married couples. And we need to be intentional in valuing that gift and serving one another in that area and connecting in that way as a couple. It is a blessing from God, and we need to make sure we don't forget the blessing of sex as a married couple. So there are some suggestions, practical ways to be intentional about getting out of that rut and staying out of the marriage rut. Remember, we give Marriage Matters priority because marriage matters. Your marriage matters.